Alrighty, welcome back everybody to our latest live stream.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Hope everyone's having a good afternoon so far. That's crazy timing. I do appreciate everybody tuning in. We're going to be having probably about a 1 to 2 hour live stream today. Not a super long live stream because today's tornado risk does look to be a pretty quick one. It's probably only going to last a couple hours here across at least North Dakota. We already have a couple of tornado warnings out there and we just got a brand new one. So these are areas that we're going to be talking about today that are in a bit of a radar hole situation. So overall radar presentation is not going to be fantastic today, but we do have Connor Croft storm chasing with us, and we also have Storm Runner Media that'll be storm chasing as well. And Connor Croft a moment ago may have intercepted a pretty large tornado on this storm south of Medora. It's not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure he said it might have been a false alarm. We're not entirely sure right now, but he's still on that storm, bottom right of your screen, with a pretty decent little cloud base there. So that storm could still produce a tornado as it moves east, but overall very rural areas just south of Belfield and southwest of Dickinson in western North Dakota. So if you're in the pink polygon, obviously get to your safe place away from windows and lowest floor possible. I'm guessing most people are already there since that warning's been going for a while. We do have a new tornado warning as well that was just issued as we went live for Fairfield, North Dakota. So if you're in this warning, this is near Theodore Roosevelt National Park. So just on the north side of that, just north of Interstate 94. Also get to your safe place away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. Now overall, this storm's actually been pretty impressive. We do have a more localized radar site that does show the radar presentation pretty well. You'll actually notice it has a pretty defined hook on it right now, so it actually is a pretty organized supercell. And you might think these storms look like they might be going for a while. Well, actually probably not. We have a pretty huge line of storms that's racing to the east right now at about 50 to 55 miles per hour. Once this line of storms catches up to these discrete supercells, this tornado risk is going to be very low to near zero. So overall, the concern as this moves to the east is going to be much lower, hence why this tornado watch is so tiny. It's not even that large of an area, only includes a handful of counties in western North Dakota. Now with that said, we could still see tornadoes embedded in this line as it continues to move to the east. Now that's not our only area where there's a potential for tornadoes. We could still see that back over North Dakota, western Nebraska, western Kansas, even parts of the Oklahoma and Texas Panhandle, and maybe Colorado, and even maybe into Utah. That's actually a possibility today. But overall, the greatest concern is going to be remaining here across the high plains today, where we do have a high pressure system back down to the southwest, kind of feeding moisture into these areas from southwest to northeast, allowing for the storm activity. So a bit of an interesting setup today. So we might see a tornado or two before 8 o'clock tonight, which I think this tornado risk really goes lower after 8 o'clock, after these discrete supercells kind of get absorbed by that line of storm. So that's what I'm thinking today in terms of the threat across the United States, especially in the Great Plains. Now, there is another severe storm northeast of Rapid City. This thing's been going for a while. It's actually looked pretty impressive on radar, but it's more than anything just a wind and hail threat right now. Moving to the east, we do have a pretty good pocket right now of hail south of Highway 34. Like, once again, relatively rural areas of South Dakota. That'll be moving east-northeast, eventually approaching Highway 34. No major town locations in the track of that as of right now. And then back over in western parts of Nebraska, we were expecting some storms to get going here. So far, nothing really getting going, but I would expect that storm activity to increase in coverage as we go throughout the next couple of hours. And then back over in western Kansas, it's kind of the same thing right now. We're just looking at a few storms out there. Southwest of Garden City, these are kind of training along. We'll be watching for mostly a wind threat across western Kansas tonight, and that might trickle into central and eastern Kansas, but I wouldn't be too concerned about it. And we are also going to start to see some storm development back over in parts of Texas and Oklahoma today. The severe weather risk is pretty low, and overall it's a pretty capped off environment, but any storms that can get going, like this little one, that little baby shower if you will east of Frederick, if it gets going, we could end up seeing some large hail down that direction. Back over in Utah and as well as western Colorado, we have a mess of storms out here as well. Very humid environment as well out this direction, where there will be a potential for some large hail and damaging winds. There is a very low tornado risk here, but I don't really think we're going to see much of that in this particular region, so I wouldn't be too concerned about that. But if you are back over in this area, just stay weather aware and have a tornado action plan in place just in case we do end up seeing some sort of tornado warning. All right, let's go back to here. We're also just gonna tune into Connor here. Let's go to that. Connor's on this tornado warning storm, by the way, and I do want to show you real quickly, if we go back in time just a second here. So this was not too long ago when he was approaching this storm. That right there over the, and again, this is previously, so this isn't live. Let me try to get the point where it looked like. So if you look in the middle of your screen there, this was about 25 minutes ago or so, or actually 15 minutes ago. It looks like there was a large tornado on the ground with that storm. It is extremely hard to tell what it actually was since he was just so far away. But it kind of looked like we actually had a large tornado with this storm. Now, it's possible that it was just a large rain shaft or something else. It might have not been a tornado, but very possible. And that was before it ended up getting warned. But the radar coverage out here is very, very poor. So obviously it's going to be much harder to figure that sort of stuff out. You'll look at the radar site here. This is the radar coverage. All right, so we got one radar site in Bismarck. We got one in northern North Dakota. We got one in Glasgow. We got one in Billings, and we got one back down in Rapid City. There's this huge hole here in the middle where most of the tornado threat is today. So unfortunately, the radar coverage is pretty sparse all in between that area. But we do have a couple of little terminal radar sites that really aren't going to do much of a favor today with velocities, but they can at least show you on reflectivity what these storms look like. So, you know, in this case, you can kind of see how this storm is trying to organize, but the northern radar site back up near Williamston actually shows us a bit better of that storm structure back over in western North Dakota on the northern tornado warning. So just kind of a little interesting thing there. This in particular environment today is very hard to see storms on radar, which is why I was very much questioning whether we should go live today or not. But we'll at least be live again for probably an hour or two if anything does get interesting. And by the way, this is what the storm looked like not too long ago before Connor began repositioning. So again, nice little cloud base there. So again, this was about 5 minutes ago, probably gonna be pretty similar to what it is right now. And it actually looked pretty impressive from a distance. We'll probably get another good view of this once Connor gets back into position, but he's currently just repositioning, and that's the storm back out there to the right side of your screen there. Thank you, Heather, for the $50 super chat. You are crazy. I appreciate the generosity. Put some hearts in the chat for Heather with the $50 super chat. I appreciate that a lot. Also, thank you to Doctor for the $9.99. I appreciate that. Thank you. Wow, you're just watching that now? That was like, it's like 2 months ago. I didn't realize that was still out there. Yeah, I thought we would just get on, go live, and again, we'll kind of see what happens. Today, I honestly think today's tornado threat, again, is probably going to be 2 hours long, and that's about it. So, it kind of started a few hours back, but it wasn't really that concerning. It's a little bit more concerning now. But today's tornado risk is quite the short one. All right, so this is what it looks like on satellite imagery right now. And really, yesterday this looked much more concerning, but today it just looks way less concerning. Got this large line of storms right now that is currently moving across parts of Montana and northeastern Wyoming. Again, the main concern with this will be damaging winds, some isolated hail, and maybe an isolated tornado or two. These are your discrete cells that have been getting going. Really, the only 2 or 3 that have had success. The 2 of them in North Dakota have had success, and also this one northeast of Rapid City has also had success. Now, the satellite imagery is pretty useful in this particular environment today because we are dealing with such a large radar hole. So really, the only storm that we cannot really see on radar very clearly are these 2 that are tornado warned right now. So that comes in handy right now. At least with satellite imagery, you can see them explode. This one that was in northwestern South Dakota, the HRRR model, the entire time had that thing going and doing something, but it never developed. So, that just kind of got cut off entirely. That updraft just died, and it's now just some high clouds in the atmosphere. There's nothing left of that. So this particular environment, again, is still favorable for tornadoes for the next hour or two, and you'll notice the velocities do look pretty strong on the northern tornado warning. It's kind of unknown whether they're that strong because we're looking probably about 14,000 feet up into the atmosphere on this radar beam. So that's really up above where the clouds are at the surface. So this area of rotation is probably in the mid-level somewhere, and we cannot see that physically unless you are in an airplane. So yeah, and then back over on the southern storm, pretty much the same thing. Still a pretty good amount of rotation, but as I mentioned before, this is still probably around 12 to 14,000 feet up into the atmosphere here. Is there a tornado in Colorado? No, there is not. Thank you, Clary, for becoming a 1-month member. Yeah, I was watching Reed when that funnel cloud was dropping earlier, but it never did drop. I was watching Connor too. I mean, I was watching both of them at the same time. So I was paying attention. I've been watching live streams for probably the last 3 hours, and I just haven't been live. I mean, there hasn't really been anything to go live for up until probably about now. So I was just kind of, just kind of looking around. Nothing too crazy. Actually got Storm Hunter Media on this right now. Let's go back to them at the bottom right. Let's go to storm intermediate. We'll go full screen. They're on the tornado warning now too. So that's the storm right there, the southern tornado warning. They're just catching up now to it. It's actually pretty impressive storm structure from a distance. It's hard to tell because, you know, you just got all the mid to upper level clouds all going left to right there. So, but there's a nice clearing there in the very middle left, and that's where the supercell is right now. Yeah, I was watching that tornado. I thought it was going to drop, but I don't think it really ever did. If it did, it was very brief. It was pretty crazy. Today's environment, like, the photographs really are not good. Like, it is such a... It really is a horrendous environment for tornadoes to develop. The only thing that's keeping them being able to actually develop today is the low-level instability is pretty favorable, and also the storm mode. They're discrete, so there's a better shot of tornadoes with that in mind. But the photographs are not very good today. The shear is only going to last a few hours here, so it's a very small window, basically, for tornadoes today. So... And it's really about now until 8. I think after 8, the tornado risk is very low. It's not 0, but it is going to be very low. It'll be mostly just kind of, you know, QLCS type tornadic activity after that. Apparently Connor's going to the northern storm, by the way. So we got Storm Intermediate on the southern one here. And we got Connor going towards the northern one. Wasn't on the ground for very long. Yeah, it didn't look like it. Well, I'm telling you guys, I mean, again, this threat, 2 hours. That's tops for this particular discrete cellular activity. And after that, I think it'll just be mostly linear. So today's again live stream will probably be about 2 hours, up until about 8 Central. If needed, we'll be live longer, but. Will Fargo be okay? I don't think those areas are going to be really in much of a risk. I think it'll be more of a wind risk. Let's real quickly go through the future radar here, and I'll give you an idea of what we're talking about today for timing and also what the threats will be. So this is what the HRRR model is spewing out here on the latest run. It actually shows a pretty numerous area of damaging winds across Montana for the next couple hours until it runs into the discrete supercells. Let's go to the future radar, because that's the wind gusts. So this is what it looks like right about now. So about 6 o'clock, pretty similar to what's on radar, aside from there actually being a supercell here. The HRRR model put it way down here. Very interesting. Once we get closer to 7, though, that line of storms, as I mentioned before, is going to catch up to those discrete supercells. This will probably merge around 7:30 is my thinking. So by around 7:30 or 8, that is when I'm expecting that line of storms to merge with these discrete supercells. That'll eventually become more of a linearized threat of damaging winds and some isolated large hail. We could still get a brief tornado out of this activity, but honestly, I just don't feel like that's going to be much of a risk tonight. I don't think this is the same as what we saw in Massachusetts last night, for example. If you saw my Twitter post, there was an unwarned tornado there, and there was a couple other quick tornadoes. There wasn't anything really long, but you know, we had a few brief tornadoes there. I honestly think that's a possibility tonight, but I don't think it's going to be the same sort of setup. Once we get closer to 10 to 11 o'clock, this continues to stay relatively linear across South and North Dakota. Here is that area of storm activity that'll produce some damaging winds. By midnight to 1 in the morning, those storms are approaching areas like Fargo, Sioux Falls, and they will still be producing at least some damaging winds. And then after that, I think the severe weather risk is much lower for Minnesota and Iowa. And then this is back over here in parts of North Dakota, or sorry, not North Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas and Colorado. We'll probably see a few more storms develop over the next few hours across Nebraska and as well as Kansas. The main concern with these will be large hail and damaging winds. This will probably upscale into maybe 1 or 2 small scale mesoscale convective systems, and those could produce some damaging winds. But again, it does not look to be a widespread threat down here. I honestly don't think we're going to see anything too crazy in either of those 2 states, other than wind and hail. Aside from that, does not look to be very tornadic. I really think today's environment is really going to be, you know, for tornado wise, I think this is the only area to really watch for that, being a bit more on the more significant side of things, if you will. So that's what we're looking at for today. All right, let's go back to storm intermediate for the time being.
Unless they're moving 50.
1440p, I know, we're on 1440p now apparently. Crazy times. Upgrades happening to our resolution on streams. Holy cow. That's one of those things I actually did recently, so that's a nice little change. And again, both tornado warnings in relatively rural areas, one northwest of Belfield, North Dakota, and the other one southwest of Dickinson, North Dakota right now. We might see a tornado. I mean, I'm not ruling it out by any means. Storm Intermediate is going to be on the southern tornado warning, and then I think Connor's going to the northern one. So we should have a view of both storms, and these are the only two that I think have any chance at producing. I mean, in all honesty, like maybe this one right here east of Knife Lake, or Knife River, which is an interesting name. This right here, that might do something. That might become tornadic, but again, it has a very short window. The most organized supercells that we have right now are the ones that are west of Manning, North Dakota, and then this one over here southwest of Belfield. So one of those two might produce something, but aside from that, these other ones over here in like Montana, this is just all linear activity. So the tornado potential with these is not zero, but it's just lower, and they would be usually pretty quick tornadic, like tornadoes in general. Similar to what we saw back over in Pennsylvania yesterday, which by the way, we did have 3 confirmed tornadoes at least now in Pennsylvania yesterday, all in that same area, which I'll show you guys real quick. I'm not sure if they're still on the map. Now they removed a couple of the tracks, but they did confirm a tornado. This is the first one that happened. This is the one that we went live for immediately. So this one was on the ground from just southwest of Santiago, back closer to Noblestown. So just to the southwest of Settlers Cabin Park, west of Pittsburgh. So just in the suburbs here. This was on the ground for a few minutes, produced some damage. Again, nothing out of the ordinary, but it was an EF1 tornado. Some trees uprooted. That was really the most common damage report out of that particular tornado, but that was on the ground for several minutes. This is the exact track. So it was actually on the ground for 12 minutes yesterday. So that was a bit more of a long-tracked QLCS tornado. I'm actually surprised by how long this was on the ground. We covered it, but it only looked like it was on the ground for maybe 6 or 7 minutes from what we saw. So it was actually on the ground for 12. Peak winds, though, at 90 miles per hour on that tornado. And then we also had 2 more. They were east of Pittsburgh, but they're not showing up on the map right now. So we also had the other one back over north of Providence, Rhode Island. This is a pretty populated area near Cumberland. This particular tornado was also an EF1, sustained winds upwards of 100 miles per hour. This happened late last night, so yeah, that was a bit later in the night. But one thing to keep in mind is that Attleboro, this is the 3rd time North Attleboro, Massachusetts has seen a tornado in the last 10 months. They've had 3 different tornadoes, which is actually absurd. So it was pretty crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. All right. But if those other tornado reports there come back in, I'll put it back up. Hey, by the way, Dawn, for the $25 super chat. I appreciate the generosity. Thank you. Appreciate the compliment as well. How's it going, Marissa? They have canceled the tornado warning on the southern storm, so Connor's going to be going towards that northern storm. This is Connor. He's going to be going towards the northern storm. Wow. Look at Storm Runner Media. I just went away from them. That is a large shelf cloud, I believe. Or is that just a supercell? They just canceled this tornado warning, though, but there is a tornado possible label on it. I don't think that's a shelf cloud. I think they're looking at that southern supercell. I think that's just the storm itself. This is just southwest of Belfield in North Dakota. It's the Gritty Goal. I have absolutely no clue. Let's do... I don't know. I'll just do 20 members. Riley Dibble did a Gritty earlier. I was watching his stream. Thank you, Pedro, for the 199. Is there a tornado watch in Northeast Ohio on Saturday? I can't predict tornado watches. I mean, there's a low tornado risk on... What's today? Thursday? Yeah, Saturday. So Saturday, there's at least a low risk for tornadoes. It'll probably be at 2 or 5%, one of the two. I was looking at some of the model data this morning. Or not this morning, but this afternoon when I actually woke up. Looks like there's something there. They're kind of distant. Just kind of looks like a small lowering here on this storm. Severe weather tomorrow in Chicago. Tomorrow's threat is very conditional. Tomorrow's threat, I don't know if we're even going to go live for that. It looks very conditional. Like today I was really on the edge about going live. I barely went live. The only reason why I went live is because these two storms actually tried to do something. Tomorrow's threat just looks extraordinarily conditional. At least in Kansas City area. This is what tomorrow looks like. We'll go back to Stormer Media here in a second, and Connor, but this is what it looks like for the future radar tomorrow. So this is tomorrow morning, just some, you know, ordinary showers and maybe some thunderstorms, but the afternoon we'll probably get a mesoscale convective system back over in parts of northwestern Kansas and southern Nebraska. Again, the main concern being damaging winds, and then maybe some sort of conditional discrete supercell threat back over near Kansas City. They have a 5% tornado risk here, but I just don't know if we're actually going to see storms fire here. It's possible, but it does not appear very likely. I think all the showers and storms that we're going to have earlier in the morning, I think is going to stabilize the atmosphere by quite a bit. And I think that's actually going to mess with the storm mode for tomorrow. Now, again, we could see an isolated tornado, but I don't see that threat being super significant unless we get some sort of discrete cellular activity. I just got a notification from Uber Eats. It's a sign. It is a sign. All right, let's go back to... Again, this is the tornado warning that we have right now in North Dakota. Only one right now. The southern one got canceled, but I would still at least be in your safe place if you're in the yellow area for hail, wind, and maybe even an isolated quick tornado. Right now, it doesn't look like it's imminent, but we at least do have a pretty impressive supercell structure. Go back to Storm Intermedia here. This is what they're looking at on the southern storm right now. It's an explosive storm. No doubt about that. It's a very unstable atmosphere here, so discrete supercells like this definitely have a much more favorable environment here for hail and wind, and obviously explosive supercell structures like this one. Thank you, Moai, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. Appreciate you becoming a maximum velocity member. I don't think we've had any confirmed tornadoes thus far. I think we may have had a brief one north of Medora in Nebraska, or in North Dakota. I keep saying Nebraska. In North Dakota, but it was only on the ground for like 30 seconds, I think. Yeah, it was actually confirmed with ground circulation, but it was only on the ground again for like 30 seconds. It was very, very short-lived. Yeah, this structure's pretty impressive. Back over to Connor. Connor's going to the northern storm, so it probably will take another half an hour is my guess.
Just because.
He's going to the actual tornado warning, northern one. How do you become a member? The join button is down below. It's also the link in the description. It's also the link that's pinned in the chat. Oh yeah, we have forgot about that. Put that up here. We do have... I don't think we're going to hit it today. With how short-lived today's stream is probably going to be. We do have a subscriber count. Ooh, at the bottom left. That might be used for our... whatever our next live stream is, but we are currently... That's actually real time, too. We are currently 1,400 subscribers away from 300,000. I never have a subscriber count on the screen unless we're, like, really close, so... That's the only reason why it's there. Just putting it there just for, you know, what it's worth. I also got there at the bottom left. Fantastic. Hey, Marissa, for the 5 gifted members. I appreciate the generosity. And if you got a gifted member, make sure to thank Marissa in the chat. We might even gift, like, members if we hit 300k today. I'm not sure. I was thinking about doing, like, some sort of giveaway for it. Again, this is Storm Runner Media. They're on the severe thunderstorm warning cell that has a tornado possible label near Belfield in North Dakota. Still an impressive storm structure. Maybe a small lowering there in the middle. Doesn't appear super imminent, but... They might also be going for that northern storm, too. I mean, that's where Connor's going right now. That one looks really impressive still on radar. That one still looks like it's gonna produce at some point.
Keep your eye back there. Kind of flip around if we need to. It's kind of drifting northeast anyway. I'm just watching that.
How's it going, John? Welcome back. Is there a CC drop on the northern one? Again, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, today is gonna be really reliant on storm chasers because we cannot see much on radar. The radar hole here is enormous. I mean, I wasn't gonna go live because of that, really, because like there's literally no radar view of these storms. It's pretty bad.
The storm is almost stationary.
You have a little lowering though on that storm. Still an impressive supercell. But yeah, I mean, again, we're not gonna see a CC drop. There's almost no way. But Storm Media is looking at least, it looks like a small lowering that's developed. That's on the Belfield storm. Even if it doesn't produce anything, I mean, look at that circular base. It's a mesocyclone. I'm so close to 300k, I know. We're getting pretty close. Hey, Brad, for becoming a maximum velocity member. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're about 1,400 subscribers away from 300k. That's crazy. CC drop is correlation coefficient. That's what CC means. A CC drop basically means that we're either seeing some sort of like confirmed tornado with debris being lifted up into the atmosphere. So when I say CC drop and we're looking at the actual CC radar, I'll show you a quick example here. But like, we don't have a tornado on the ground, at least from what we know right now. But if we saw something like this over a very strong couplet of rotation, that would indicate that there is a tornado that's on the ground, you know, lifting up debris into the atmosphere. Now, again, we don't know if there is one here. But right now, the rotation very strong aloft, but like it's very difficult to tell. This is another localized radar site. Still shows a hook echo on the western side of the storm. So, you know, again, it's possible that we get a tornado with this. It's unknown if we have one right now. I mean, if there is one, it would have to be reliant on there being a storm chaser there to report it, because the radar coverage is pretty poor around here. But that's what I mean by CC drop. And again, that tornado warning is for those in Fairfield, North Dakota. That's the only location in Gorham.
Look at that thing.
Look at that slant. Look at that slant on that supercell. Bottom right to top left. That is a slanted deck of clouds going all the way up. Give you an idea of the wind shear. Tilt. It's a nice little tilt. 45-degree tilt almost.
Should have 360-degree field of view coverage. As long as we can keep that rear cam working.
I should grow a mullet? Oh my goodness. A mullet? That's really what you want my hair to be looking like? That'd be crazy. A mullet?
Pushing north, so I'm kind of losing a view of it due to
I eat Culver's? I did not, no. I was thinking about it. I ended up getting another Wawa sub today.
watch.
I'm not turning into Connor Croft with his mullet.
Okay, well, I mean, I'll let you know when I see this one when I get to it.
I don't know, I was considering having Culver's tonight. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing tonight.
really see much, so
I was originally not going to go live today, like, after seeing some of the data, like, at least in the last few hours, I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to go live for this. But we end up going live, and I don't really mind going live for this. I mean, we might see something. It's more than anything just kind of, you know, and it's just unfortunate that there's a radar hole here. That's the biggest thing in this particular area.
He's not looking for the bigger one. He's looking for a chance that's going to throw something down.
Connor's nearing the warning. Yeah, he's not far. I mean, again, I'll pull over to him once he gets a bit closer. Because Connor is going to be the main person to watch here once he gets closer to that tornado warning. And I'm guessing they're going to issue another one on this in a few minutes, because it expires in 5 minutes right now. If they issue a new one, it'll be for those near Route 85, northeast of Medora. But we only got about an hour left until that line of storms catches up to these discrete supercells.
Well, interesting theory. They both have rotation on them, so I don't know why they're both not tornado warning.
This is Connor's view right now. Well, a CC drop happens because there's something other than rain that's falling. So snow can even be detected on the correlation coefficient. And often that actually is very often used during the winter when we have winter storms. You can see the dividing line between rain and snow. So a CC drop actually has more purposes than just debris. It can be used for hail. It can be used to see chaff, which is like airplanes and stuff like that. Like you can even see airplanes on there if you really wanted. You know, there's a lot of stuff you can see on the correlation coefficient, and it's not just tornadic debris. Even though a lot of people think it is, it's not. Tornado in Massachusetts last night. I know there was a couple. I wasn't gonna go live for it. I mean, I would have stayed live if I knew it would have been like that, but I wasn't gonna activate another live stream because it was just there were like 3 or 4 tornadoes in a very small area in a very short amount of time, and it was all QLCS based, meaning that they were very brief, and they were also probably not overly strong. We may have had a brief strong tornado, but it was just very brief. A Culver sponsor? I know. I don't know when they're gonna knock on my door. Thank you, Tanner, for the $5 super chat. Yeah, the Whitman, Nebraska tornado was a high-end EF3 tornado. It was nearly an EF4, but there was some sort of building that they were doing a survey on, and it was like substandard construction, so they couldn't rate it in EF4. But it was very close to being an EF4 tornado.
At the moment, I am too. I'm wondering if it's rain wrapped. Trying to. I mean, it looks like there is a base over there, maybe.
Yeah, I'm starting to get the structure. Maybe there's just like a little pocket up here where it's not stable. I don't even know, dude.
I'm not sure either, but good news is it's moving slow, and this is a good road, so.
What do you use to cover weather? Radar. I mean, we use radar on Mega. It's the main thing.
It's destroyed by the impending doom to the west.
Hey Bruce, for coming a member, welcome to the Velocities.
Yeah, I guess that would be the play. So yeah, I'm gonna try and find some high ground here.
Where's Stormwater Media? Are they up there too?
No, the National Weather Service in North Platte didn't say anything. I mean, do I really? I don't know if they ever would either. I don't think they've ever really done. I don't know. It's a government agency, so I don't know if they actually do that stuff.
I have a decent, looks like a decent road.
They have issued a new severe thunderstorm warning on this storm for those near Route 85. Main concern, 2-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. There is a TP label on it, meaning a tornado possible still does exist. They might not even continue this tornado warning, because right now it's about to expire in a minute. I would say, though, that this storm does still have a chance at producing a tornado. Same thing with this one. This one, honestly, south of Belfield did not look as impressive, but I would say that this tornado warning probably will not continue. But we will have Connor Croft there here in a moment, and we'll probably have a pretty good view of that storm here shortly, and we'll see if there's anything happening with it. But tornado warning will probably be canceled here in a second, or just let to expire. Thank you, Bruce, for becoming a member. I think I already said that. And also thank you to Goose for the $10 super chat. I appreciate that. How many days in a row have we been live? It's been a lot. 45% hatch risk of tumbleweeds today. I wouldn't doubt it. It's possible. Let me check how many days in a row we've had live streams on. It's been a lot, I know that. By the way, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Bottom of your screen there, that is a counter, which does show how many subscribers we currently have. We're only going to have that on until 300k, so. It's there for the memes. I saw somebody comment about like how those things look so annoying on live streams, and I'm like, well, we're putting it on one today, so. What in the world? There's a confirmed tornado in Louisiana.
This is an urgent alert. A tornado is on the ground. Seek shelter immediately.
There is a confirmed tornado south of Lake Charles in Louisiana. This is actually right over the National Weather Service office. If you're in this warning, get to your safe place, away from windows, and on the lowest floor possible, south of Lake Charles. And it is an observed tornado by weather spotters, which I'm honestly guessing that the National Weather Service observed this. It's this, I think. Is it this? It's not even in the warning. I think it might be this. That's the only area of rotation that I actually see, unless it's over the it might be right over the radar site. I mean, this right here looks like more than likely the tornado. That right there. So if you are if you're in this warning near Prairie Lane, get to your safe place just south of Lake Charles. Out of all places. in Louisiana today. Let me see if we have any live shot of this. I don't know if we do. This is near, it's gonna be approaching Highway 385. I mean, this looks like that, more than likely looks like the rotation. It might be embedded in this warning somewhere that we just can't see. There's a chance that the tornado itself would actually be right in the radar site somewhere, because just north of that there was like a quick little circulation that went right into the radar site. It's either that or it's this right here that's not in the warning. This is observed at the Lake Charles Regional Airport, which I'm pretty sure is like right here. Wait. Yeah, so the tornado was observed right over the radar site here in Louisiana. So yeah, if you're in this warning, get to your safe place just south of Lake Charles, Louisiana, once again for this confirmed tornado. There are some live cams in the area. I'm trying to see if we have any view of anything. But I think everything, it's on like I-210, that's the closest one. This is just to the north of Lake Charles, or just north, or just south of Lake Charles, but north of the tornado warning. Not really seeing much other than rain here. It was a little bit windy a second ago. Again, I don't know if we're gonna be able to see anything here, but southernmost cam. Is there another one? Oh, I see that. Okay. This is another view. This is possibly where the storm is. I mean, we have some scud on the right side of your screen. That's probably not anything related to the tornado. Just gonna center this a little bit here. I mean, again, I think this tornado may have just been observed by the National Weather Service. If not, it was just by maybe some weather spotter in the area. I mean, it was again observed at the Lake Charles Regional Airport. But once again, this tornado is going to be somewhere in the radar site. We can't even see the tornado on this storm. And honestly, this rotation up here that's not warned right now, that could also do something right here. Like that also is rotating, and it's not tornado warned. But there's rotation there too, northwest of Chalkley. Your tornado warning count still says 0. Thank you. I just saw that. I was in utter disbelief when I saw it on my alerts tab. Observed tornado in, I don't know how to pronounce that county name, in Louisiana, south of Lake Charles. That's just not the place today where we would have expected it. Let me look at a different radar. I didn't think of that. I don't think we have any other nearby radars, though. Well, this one shows it. That actually shows it a bit more. I mean, this is looking higher up into the clouds, but this is where the tornado would be if it's still on the ground. It'd be on the south. It would be on the east side of Prairie Land, which that lines up pretty well with the velocities that I'm seeing here as of 6:32, which is 3 minutes ago. So this would be your tornado. It's gonna be rain wrapped if it is still on the ground. Again, we don't really know if it is still on the ground, but this warning does go for 10 minutes. It's a pretty short-lived warning, so more than anything, this is probably something quick and brief. It's at least likely. It could have occluded already. I mean, again, we don't really know. I mean, the National Weather Service is right here, where this tornado is. So the radar site literally is covering up where this tornado is, which does not happen very often. It's a very, I mean, when you think about it, the radar site diameter here is only about a mile. It's about 1.25 miles. I'm just gonna wait for the next radar scan. We'll see what the velocities look like. But even this right here, I mean, there's some rotation here too. Now, I have to say, in southern Louisiana, this stuff during like the summer is actually not that rare. This does happen actually quite a bit. We do sometimes get these random observed tornadoes or random confirmed tornadoes. It does happen. So this sort of stuff is not like out of the ordinary by any means. This is the live shot on I-210. This is the latest live shot here. Very windy here. This is near where this is just to the north of where the tornado might be. Gusty winds in the area. Is there a CC drop? We're gonna check in a second. Let's go back to radar. I was just waiting for the radar to update. Hasn't updated yet. We're gonna see if this is still on the ground, if we can verify it by radar. Again, if there is one, it's gonna be near like Brass Landing. It's north of Grand Lake. That's where this would be. By the way, while we wait for this, I just want to show you Connor's on that other tornado, or that was initially a tornado warning cell, not severe. That's back over in North Dakota. It's a rain-wrapped area of circulation. So that storm has become fully rain-wrapped. Really impressive storm structure, though.
It's just rain-wrapped.
Alright, we do have a new radar scan. We'll check this out. Still got rotation outside of this tornado warning. I've been questioning that this entire time. It's not warned. And presumably, again, if we still have a tornado on the ground, it's going to be like right here. It's just going to be fully rain-wrapped. We don't have anything clear and evident, but that right there would be the tornado if it is still indeed on the ground. Just kind of see the evolution of these storms. I mean, there's an outflow boundary. You can see that moving north to south. Actually had a convergence of outflow boundaries. Look at that right here. That might actually be like a sea breeze or something. And then the other one came down, and now they both collided, and we have more storms exploding, basically between those two areas of converging outflow boundaries. That's interesting. We even have some broad rotation on the storm near Goyden, and also south of Iowa. So a couple more little areas of circulation. But again, this warning does go for 6 more minutes. If you're just south of Lake Charles in the pink polygon, obviously continue to stay in your safe place, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. We will continue to keep a close eye on it for the next few minutes.
Pure rain.
Let's go back to Connor here, because he has a pretty good view of that North Dakota storm right now.
Can't see it. I need this rain to go away. Any chance.
By the way, thank you, Chris, for becoming a VIP Velocity member. I really do appreciate it. You put some hearts in the chat for Chris. It's our highest tier membership on the channel. Really do appreciate your generosity. The clouds rotating.
Yeah, it's buried.
They are a little bit, maybe to the right, to the left, but that might just be some of the inflow too.
So what we're have to do?
Pretty decent clear
is here
slot,
in
but
a minute,
unfortunately there's just a
once
big
it's
rain
little bit
shaft. You really
closer,
can't
we're
see
gonna
it
get
if there
back
is a
to the
tornado.
highway, go a little bit north more than likely, and try and get in the notch. Try and get a visual from the north, maybe. Might be our only
How's it going,
chance,
Dragon?
even though it just looks so rainy in there. It's like a rain-wrapped beast.
Is there a confirmed touchdown? Well, this tornado warning was confirmed. I'm not sure if it's still on the ground. We have not had a visual on it on radar because the radar is simply built different. It is literally where this tornado is. So this tornado that has occurred is over the radar site. Like, it's likely in here, and we cannot see it. So, yeah, we're kind of in a pickle right now. But this tornado, if it is still on the ground, it's east side of Prairie. Or Prairie Land in Louisiana. Warning goes for 4 more minutes, so if they continue it, then we probably still have to watch this. If they don't continue it, then, you know, this will more than likely just be more of a wind concern. But still something to watch for nonetheless. This is kind of a bit more typical, though, this time of the year. It is a confirmed tornado, but that, again, that was about 12 minutes ago,
there.
so... These types of tornado warnings, that you know, or these types of storms in general, they usually are not on the ground for very long.
Genesis.
Now, this storm that we're looking at on Connor's feed if it does drop a tornado, it could be on the ground for a bit more than a few minutes. Tornado in Melbourne, Florida, too. There's a video. I should have gone storm chasing today. I saw the radar imagery on that. That was gnarly.
Might be able to organize right in front
It was
of
right
us
along,
here.
it was right attached to an outflow boundary. I saw it on radar. I'm like, that's probably going to drop or at least have a funnel cloud. If you have the video, at me on Twitter. At Max Velocity WX. I'm curious to see it. I'm guessing it was just a little small tornado, but... I was right next to the radar site, too.
Definitely struggling.
Stormrunner Media has a pick. Wow. They sure do.
Come on, buddy.
Stormrunner Media.
Hey guys, what's going on? What's wrong? Did we do something? Did we do something wrong here?
Wow. Back to radar real quick. This is the storm near Prairie Land. I'm not seeing much. The rotation, again, unfortunately, is right over the radar site. So if there is still a tornado, it would probably still be on the ground near Prairie Land. I don't think it is, but it might be because we can't see it. So again, near Prairie Land right now, right along Highway 385. That would be where it is if it is still on the ground. That other area of rotation that was southeast of Lake Charles, it is actually moving northwest towards Lake Charles. Not seeing as much there either. There's also some broad circulation near Highway 14. And again, all this taking place in southern Louisiana right now with some storms that have fired off an outflow boundary. Overall, again, just a relatively low tornado risk out of those storms. And back over again in North Dakota, that's where we've been looking on the live cameras. Or not live cameras, but live storm chasers with Stormrunner Media and Connor Croft. And this is the activity that we've been talking about. And line of storms is catching up very fast. So once this catches up, the tornado risk is going to be very close to zero, and it'll be more of a wind threat across North Dakota. But for the next hour or so, these still have a potential for producing tornadoes. So we're going to continue to watch this activity very closely for the next several minutes. We're going to keep this on the bottom right of your screen until it gets canceled or just expires, which right now it is subject to expire in about 30 seconds to a minute. Oh, I'm on the wrong person. I was supposed to be on Connor there. I was watching Connor and I had Stormrunner Media on. Go back to him after he repositions. Alright, this tornado warning has now been officially, the time being at least, it has expired. So, the tornado that was on the ground was probably on the ground for like a few minutes. And that's about it. So, done with that for now. And now, unless something else crazy happens in Louisiana like that, we're going to go back to the central and northern plains, where we still have some discrete cells out there. And again, this is the one that Connor's on, and I believe Stormrunner Media's on it too. You know, we're still waiting to see if this thing can produce a tornado before that line of storms catches up. In a favorable environment, as it is discrete, any discrete supercells could produce the potential for a tornado. So we're going to be watching the storm very closely over the next several minutes.
Yeah. Very small hail too.
Actually, Stormrunner Media, they're on the southern storm, so they did not go for the northern one. That's the southern one.
Even still.
And then Connor is on the northern storm. So this is that view right now. Thank you, Lucas. Appreciate the super chat. Thank you, Earl, for the $10 super chat.
Well, you can see where it is.
I know, that's it's pretty ironic that that just happened in the same
Just not
20-minute time frame.
quick.
Thank you,
Right
Michael, for the
on,
$9.99. How's it going, Lauren and Cooper? From Nashville, Tennessee. I actually been to Nashville once. It's pretty nice. Thank you, Allison, for becoming a moderate velocity member, and welcome to the Velocities. For those wondering, we are 11 members away from a gritty. Yippee.
Little spin right out in front of me as well. Again, I'm gonna give myself a little breathing room.
And again, our subscriber count, bottom left of the screen. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I bet at least 1,300 of you are not subscribed to the channel that are watching right now, so hit the red button down below and subscribe. We might be able to hit that goal of 300,000 subscribers today. I highly doubt it, but it is possible.
Back a little bit towards that highway.
Evan, oh my goodness. Actually, that's crazy though. Louisiana, out of all places. Why is there always a random... Every time we go live, I swear, like, we always have a random tornado warning in a state that doesn't even have a tornado risk.
High back there.
Like, we had the you know, the Whitman tornado in Nebraska, literally, you know, 2 nights ago. It wasn't even in a tornado risk. Now we just had a Louisiana tornado that wasn't even in a tornado risk either. Wild. 2024 has been
Real
wild.
flat base, hard to make out things.
How's my day been? It's been pretty good. Been pretty chill so far. It's been pretty chill in this live stream too.
Hard to make out things. It's not very defined.
Yeah, this is a view right now of the, somebody's asking about North Platte. This is a view of North Platte right now. Just a little baby storm. Again, this in my opinion, maybe an isolated hail or wind risk. It could maybe produce an isolated tornado, but I wouldn't be too concerned about it. We also have another storm back over south of Hyannis, kind of in the same area where we had the large tornado the other day that was an EF3, almost an EF4. This storm in particular too, it's mostly just gonna be hail and wind if it does go severe. So these storms don't look super concerning right now. There's a chance if they stay discreet, we could get something interesting, but I'm not too concerned about that activity right now in Nebraska. Really, the most concerning area for tonight will probably be North Dakota. Probably. But so far, the most concerning area with tornadoes, it seems like, has been one place in Louisiana. Michael, I answered it, by the way. Just go back like a couple minutes.
Tell what's going on. It's so flat. Guys are just tuning in. The severe warning supercell has had intermittent attempts at rotation, trying to produce, but nothing too insane. Overall, I think it's struggling with some stability.
Hey, WD for the 499.
More stable over here.
I saw that.
Stabilized that much east of the dry line. Had lots of clouds.
He said I'll donate
cover, really.
$100 if you reach 300,000 subscribers. I might legitimately like gift 50 members to the channel if we hit 300,000 subscribers today. I mean, we're about 1,200 away right now. Numbers just slowly but surely going up. When was that severe thunderstorm warning in Alaska? That had to have been at like 3 a.m. though, Eastern time. We also had a brief tornado in Florida too, I think. We've had 2 tornadoes. Actually, I think we've had 3 today, but they've all been very brief. We also had the one in North Dakota before we went live.
Now, but it just still does not look tornadic to me.
Apparently, Heather's going to donate. Okay, so apparently people are just going to donate if we hit 300K subscribers tonight. I guess that's what's happening.
Pure outflow at this point.
I highly doubt we're going to reach it, but it's possible. Hey, Riley, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. Doesn't really look like it's spinning on this storm. I'm not seeing a whole lot of spin.
Outflow. Wow. Major outflow dominance here.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing that spinning right now in the middle.
This might be cooked.
We're currently looking at the storm that's north of Belfield in North Dakota. I don't know if this is going to produce it, really. As Connor's saying, it is outflow dominant.
Should be able to follow that right along Interstate 94.
Check your sub count. It's bottom left of your screen.
I do not
That's the live
see
sub
tornado
count.
potential with this at the very present moment. Just being
That is
straight
updating by
up.
the second. South Belfield looking good. We got Stormer and Media on that one. We'll keep a close eye on them. They're right now driving through
I
rain.
don't know what your storm looks like down there, but this one just went like completely outflow dominant, so.
Watching your streams has become part of my daily routine. Well, that's kind of what happens when we go live basically every single day.
Alright, let's get back to the highway.
Like, we've been live every
Don't
single
see any
day
more.
This thing really has
for the
some really bad
last
structure to it still.
8 days, I think now.
It is
Yeah, last
dropping
8 days we've been live every single day, and tomorrow could make it 9. It's very possible. Tomorrow could make it 9,
now, guys. So hail size has increased.
depending on if it's conditional or not. If it stays conditional and we don't see anything, then it's probably not going to happen. But if something pops, we'll go probably live. I'd buy a max velocity bandana. I don't know if we have them. I don't know if that's an option that I can do. We might do like a custom drop for that though.
Big time hail on this.
10-day streak. A 10-day streak is very possible.
Not sure
It
what
is
my
very
roads look
possible.
like through here, but it doesn't look like they're
We could be
really
live
great.
on Saturday too.
So does this one run all the way through by chance?
Am I excited for the new Twisters movie? Not really.
That goes to
I'm
that
probably not
goes
gonna
to
watch
this,
it
and this
until,
goes to
like,
that. Okay, so I
it comes
can't
out.
navigate through here.
As in, like,
They
you know,
just
probably
gotta
like
pick up
5 or
speed
6
as
months
well,
from now.
Chad.
I don't really like. I'm interested
Gotta
to see
pick
it,
up
but
some
like,
speed.
I'm not like a fan of movies. So I don't really care too much. I am ingrained in my head. I do not like watching long form content. Anything longer than like 20 minutes is just a no-go for me. I've watched 2 movies in the last like 3 years. One of them was the Impractical Jokers movie. Actually, that was in 2020. That was before COVID. And then also the Haunted Mansion movie. And that was like a year ago. Like, I never go to movies. I also watched the Indiana Jones movie, so that's 3. So, there you go.
Stay out ahead of it.
I have to say, this storm that Connor's on right now, this thing has a monster hail core. Right along Route 85. Correlation coefficient going bananas right now in that hail core. Lots of hail falling on that storm. But I mean, again, these storms have very limited time until they can produce. Like they got maybe another 40 minutes until this tornado risk is mostly going to just be QLCS tornadoes. The time is ticking. Max velocity cardboard cutout? What? You know what's crazy? The provider we use for merch, they have an option for like legitimately thongs and stuff, but they don't for like underwear. It makes like no sense.
In fact, if I don't hurry up, I'm gonna get clobbered by that hail.
We could do a full-blown swimsuit though. I would actually do underwear though. That'd be so funny. Where's the Cookie Monster emote? Don't think we're gonna have one. That was like a once in a. We did a tennis ball emoji one time. That was another thing. That was a while ago. That was like 2 years ago. We do emojis occasionally for like random things.
Looks like it's headed in the general direction of Dickinson.
Quasi-linear convective system is QLCS,
And it'll probably get to Dickinson
which
before
again,
the line
QLCS
gets
tornadoes are
close.
usually brief. Pretty short, again, pretty short-lived tornadoes typically. Aside from the one yesterday in just west of Pittsburgh, that one was on the ground for 12 minutes.
to chase a tornado in.
If everybody watching that isn't subscribed subscribes to the channel right now, we might hit 300k subscribers. So make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. It's free to do. Red button down below, subscribe. We are, the bottom left of your screen again is the live counter. I don't think we're gonna hit it today, but you never know. Drunk NATO plushie? We actually could do that. It's possible. Thank you, Smith, for the $4.99. I'm not doing Max Velocity underwear merch. I mean, like, it'd be such a joke if I did that. See my tag and tweet, Max? I couldn't tell you. I get added in a lot of stuff on Twitter. I'll check though. I don't see anything recently. Oh, I see the Melbourne one, if that's what you're talking about. Wow. There was a tornado in Melbourne, Florida. It's on my, I just retweeted it on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. If you want to check it out.
Tail now.
Has Whitman been rated? Yes, the Whitman tornado is at least a high-end EF3 tornado. It was very close to being rated an EF4. That's preliminary. What are my PC specs? If you're a member of the channel, you can go back and watch our members only stream about that stuff. I mentioned all the specs on that. I don't know off the top of my head though. Thank you, Macy, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. Now, to be honest with you, I don't think these are producing. It looks highly unlikely that we're getting a tornado in either one of these storms. Now, that's just based off of what we've seen visually, because we cannot see anything on radar, really. We're just too far away. We're looking at like 12,000 plus feet up into the atmosphere. But again, this line of storms, it's still probably about 30 minutes to 45 minutes out from, you know, merging with these storms. So maybe have a 45-minute window until this again becomes more of a QLCS tornado risk, which would just be, again, lower, brief tornado kind of spin-up sort of risk. But right now, the tornado watch does go for 3 more hours. Hey, Susan, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. Max Velocity umbrellas. That would be interesting. Put my face right on the top of the umbrella. You actually can see probably where that tornado happened. You know, in real time, it kind of did something like this. It actually, the Louisiana tornado that we just had, the area of rotation kind of took a little spin, a little drunk NATO type spin. If you didn't know what a drunk NATO is, right, top right of your screen, had a little drunk NATO moment, or drunk spinning moment here in southern Louisiana. Max Velocity friendship bracelets? I don't know if we can do that. I'll have to look. Bracelets would be interesting. We really should just sell like some cheese curds or something. That'd be a solution for everybody.
That's a big hail core.
Drunk NATO animation is crazy. It is definitely crazy.
Oh, look at the greens in there, guys.
We're currently 87 subscribers from 299,000. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the red button down below and subscribe. Again, it is free to do.
Big time.
And if we hit 300,000 subscribers tonight, I will gift 50 members on the channel. It'll be a wild moment for everybody. I haven't gifted that many members in so long. I don't know if I've ever actually gifted that many members. Thank you, Anthony, for the $4.99.
About time to go. I'm not trying to get caught in the hail, personally. Personally, I'm not trying to get caught in that.
Where are we at? We're in North Dakota right now. Just trying to see if this thing produces a tornado. I mean, Connor's in a pretty good spot for it, so
of safety. I'm not
we will
trying to
see.
blow a bunch of money on a windshield today.
Nice little shelf cloud. Look at that thing. Sheesh. Actually, a nice looking storm. Thank you, Thomas, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. We need 7 more members for a gritty today. All the crazy goals in the stream.
Alright, Chad, we go south for like a mile and then east again. Very, very stable out ahead of this storm now. Tornado threat is
Thank you,
very
Cameron, for
low.
becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. I've been under a tornado warning during stream before. People ask me that all the time. It's happened once or twice. The first time, I actually had to seek shelter. The second time, I didn't. Because I was watching radar, and I didn't really feel like seeking shelter. Need Dylan for the $4.99.
That was ominous.
Oh my goodness. That would be absolutely crazy. That'd be sold out in 2 minutes. Thank you, Julie, for becoming a Maximum Velocity member. Welcome to the Velocities. Why is hail green? What? Since when is hail green?
Into a paved road, I might be a little bit more keen on intercepting the core here.
Thank you, Addy, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. Wasn't Connor's windshield destroyed the other day? I don't actually know. We lost Connor. Uh-oh. I don't know what happened to his stream. This is Stormrunner Media's view of that shelf cloud. Oh, he's back. He's just in a poor signal area. Thank you, Carla, for becoming a member. And welcome to the Velocities. Drunknado koozie merch? We have a Drunknado wine tumbler. And a pint glass. I don't know if we can do koozies, though. So again, this is a storm that's going towards Connor right now, north of Belfield in North Dakota. Again, the main concern, large hail, damaging winds. Tornado risk does exist still. What we're waiting for here. See if that does develop. Is back to Connor here. I don't know how Connor. I don't know what's going on with him. I think he's just in a bad signal area.
From west to east across the state. They already got an MD over there.
It's the view of the storm though right now.
All the way towards Bismarck could be even getting in on the.
That'd be wild,
severe
Alpha.
weather action tonight.
About tornadoes in Texas? No. Not today. I mean, actually, I wouldn't rule it out. Alright, it's 2024. We just had a random tornado in Louisiana. Let's go ahead and say there's a chance. Because, I mean, with how this year's gone, anything's possible. Thank you, Goat, for the $4.99. I do not remember that tornado, actually. I honestly, like, 2017 to 2019, I only focused on Texas weather. I had never looked outside of Texas, so. One south of Connor's ramping up. Oh, which one south of Connor are we talking about? We're talking about the one south of Dickinson? And this storm's been going for a while. I just don't know if it's really going to do, like, actually produce. They have removed the tornado possible label on the new warning for this storm, which I agree with because it does look outflow driven. This one down here, I mean, it's been kind of the same thing this entire time. But again, as I mentioned, we are in a radar hole. So we are looking 10,000 plus feet up into the atmosphere on these storms. And we just don't have a great view of them. So. Max velocity candles that smell like the inside of a Culver's. That is out of pocket. That's low-key out of pocket. They actually just issued a new severe thunderstorm watch for central North Dakota and central South Dakota. They have no tornado risk really on it, or at least it's just a very low risk. Scattered damaging winds and large hail, main concerns. Thank you, Patty, for becoming a member, and also thank you, Stay Humbled, for the $5 super chat. Hey, stay safe. Make sure you tune in. We're currently 32 subscribers. Bottom left of your screen is our subscriber count. 32 subscribers from 299,000. And then after that, we're going to need a miracle to get to 300K. Because I don't think that's happening tonight. We would need an absolute miracle. Back to, we'll just go back to Connor. We'll go
this road network would just be perfect for
here. Connor's repositioning right now, so it'll take a few minutes. How many members to the gritty? We need 2 more. Tornadoes in Antarctica. I mean, honestly, it's possible in like 200 years, probably. It's been 1,012 tornadoes this year. It's actually a lot. It's a lot more than I thought there were. I thought we had like 800 maybe. Yeah, this is the new severe thunderstorm watch. Let me pull up the image of it. I mean, this is the new watch. So this is the area to watch for. Literally, watch for this area. Near Minot and Bismarck in North Dakota, back into parts of South Dakota like Pierre. And McBridge. What's that meme about Pierre? Pierre, get out here? Well, I don't remember what that was. It's also South Dakota. It goes until 2 a.m. tonight. The probabilities on this watch, they have a high risk for wind. This is the probabilities. Again, high risk for wind, which just means that there's at least statistically a high probability that damaging winds will be happening inside of this watch. With severe weather, that'll be from that line of storms that's forming. But also large hail possible. We also could see an isolated tornado or 2. The wording here does not include tornadoes, but it is still possible that there is an isolated tornado embedded in this line. Especially with this being a QLCS type situation. From what we're seeing on velocities, despite us being very far away, it looks like we already have a little kink near the Minden area, so I wouldn't rule out an isolated tornado in this activity as this continues to track east over the next little while. Thank you, Sherry, for becoming a member. Thank you, Carla, for becoming a member. And thank you, Nick, for becoming a member. And we have officially hit 20 members today. Now we only need 1,001 more subscribers. That's it. 1,001 more subscribers to hit 300K. Hey, Wild Child for the 1999. I don't know if we're gonna hit 300K, but it would be a story if we did today. I mean, it's a long shot. Thank you, Maddie, for the 199. Manhattan, Kansas tomorrow. Tomorrow's threat is going to be 2 different rounds. The first one is conditional, and that's discrete. So the discrete storms tomorrow, that is more conditional. The threat, though, that is going to be happening that's less conditional will be that mesoscale convective system that'll develop in, like, central Kansas and southern Nebraska. That'll be mainly a wind concern, but maybe an isolated brief tornado. And that is less conditional, and that'll probably happen during the afternoon and evening. And again, we'll talk more about that in our video forecast tomorrow morning. We've done a video every single day for the last, like, 2 weeks, so you can expect a video. Trying to go back to Connor here. Almost at 300K. We're currently 972 subscribers from 300K. If you know any friends or family that might not be subscribed to our channel, make sure that they subscribe. We could hit it today. It's possible. I just think it's a big long shot right now. How's Iowa looking tonight? Just mostly isolated damaging winds on the west side of the state. That's about it. Yeah, we upload our videos so early now, because I make them at like 3 a.m. Like, I stay up late to make them. So we upload them so early now, so we can actually go live in the evening and not have to worry about uploading a video. Otherwise, we would never have videos out there. We have to do that, because it's just, with how much severe weather we've had, we have to go live almost every day right now. Thank you, Ellie, for becoming a 2-month member. Thank you, Gene, for becoming a member. Welcome to the Velocities. Just had my kids subscribe. Well, I think I just saw them subscribe because we're now 20 plus 25 subscribers. Thank you, Cindy, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. Yes, we use Radar Omega. You can download it with the link at the bottom of the description. Not sponsored, but it's down there. I do recommend it, regardless of them sponsoring me or not.
Definitely gonna be better south here. We're gonna have to bust out of this rain, and there should be big time structure.
Appreciate that, Vicky.
To get towards Dickinson.
All right, so this tornado risk, we got maybe another 30 to 45 minutes for the discrete cells. And then by about 8 o'clock Central, it's mostly a wind threat. So we'll see if anything happens. We got Connor Croft on the northern supercell in North Dakota, near Belfield. Stormrunner Media, I believe, is also on that one. Yeah, they are also. So they've transitioned to that one. Thank you, Michael, for becoming a moderate velocity member, and welcome to the Velocities.
Insane.
Thank you, Cindy. Appreciate it. Current moment. I'm surprised these storm chasers have been going this long without having that many signal issues. Like, Connor is now, but, like, there haven't been many. That's the shelf clad from a distance that Stormrunner Media is looking at. Funnel reports in Canada? Are there even warnings in Canada right now? There are just flash flood warnings in Canada. I don't see anything in Canada that looks remotely concerning right now. Other than maybe flooding, which is not what I was talking about when I meant. Yeah, I meant in terms of severe weather. This is live radar right now. The storm in North Dakota here was just, this was upgraded to 80-mile-per-hour damaging winds. This is a destructive threat. It's for Bowman and a mid-on. So this is actually bowed out now into a more significant damaging wind threat. This was upgraded 14 minutes ago. I just saw it. My apologies. This is moving eastbound. Your Bowman with 80-mile-per-hour damaging winds being a possibility. So again, down the road, this will be going towards New England, Havelock, Regent, Moat, Reeder, Hettinger, in southwestern parts of North Dakota. And again, this part of North Dakota, really anywhere in North Dakota tonight, I'll be ready at least for the wind concern, and even parts of northern South Dakota. Be ready for damaging winds. Be prepared for that. That's really going to be the greatest concern. We could also see an isolated tornado or two.
A little bit less yelling.
All right. Thank you, Vicky, for the 199. Nice purple room. It's not purple. Why does everybody think this is purple? There, I'll make it a bright blue. Where's our gritty? Do a gritty at some point. Is North Platte, Nebraska involved in this bad weather? I mean, you're in the risk today. This risk is huge. I mean, again, today's video was titled, "This storm is going to be huge." It literally is. Today's risk is massive. It's a large area. It covers up like about 20% of the United States. With that said, not everybody's going to see severe weather, but I mean, western Nebraska is also in that enhanced risk, which at this point, I mean, they'll come out with the new outlook at 8 o'clock. I don't think they'll be in that enhanced risk anymore. The main concern at this point will just be wind if any storms get going there, but yeah, I'm not seeing as much of a concern there. Storms just really have not gotten going. There's a couple, but they're just not really popping. Like the one south of North Platte, that thing's already fizzling. Like, it has a nice little structure to it, but it just doesn't look like it's going to do anything. So, really nice view, by the way, of that shelf cloud here. Connor's looking at. Those discrete cells merging within the next probably 20 minutes or so. The line of storms. Hey, Shrooms and also Robert for becoming members, and welcome to the Velocities. Purple was better. How about we make it... I don't even know what color that is. Is that yellow?
I'm gonna find somewhere good to pull over.
Make it green. Look at that, green.
Got crazy structure.
Wow, that is really purple. That is
See if I can
purple.
get somewhere up here
That right there
on
is
this
definitely
hill.
purple.
This would be ideal. I think I'm gonna be able to.
Appreciate that, Shrooms. We're currently 900 subscribers. Bottom left of your screen. 900 away from 300K. Do we think we're hitting it today? I don't think so.
Wow.
Oh, it is still possible.
Wow, chat. Whoa, what the heck?
Magenta?
Those stupid
That's
power
definitely
lines are
purple.
in the way, but
Eesh,
go
look
all
at
the
that
way
shelf
down
cloud.
this road, so I can't really fix that. Except I can.
North Dakota madness. That's unbelievable.
Wow. That is wicked. That is wicked.
The 80-mile-per-hour wind warning has been downgraded to 70, so just a little bit of a downgrade there in western North Dakota.
Wicked structure. Oh my gosh.
That is a PDS shelf cloud intercept here in North Dakota. That was Oklahoma City. Should be fine. Just isolated wind and hail if anything develops tonight. You trust for the $5 super chat?
Look at that, chat. That's money.
No,
That's worth
Tornado
the-
Alley does not
worth the day
move.
right
It is
there.
literally the same place. I really don't get the whole Tornado Alley conversation. It really, so many people think it's moving.
That
Like,
makes the day worth
it's an
it right
alley.
there.
It's a region of the United States, basically. Like, I don't know. I don't get the entire thing. It's like the Ohio Valley. It doesn't move. I need to make a cheese curd alley somewhere. We're making a cheese curd alley. That's what we're gonna do. Before Connor gets stuck again.
Just look at that, guys.
Imagine it gets stuck
It's
again.
insane. It's
That'd
like
be wild.
twisting.
This is a really crazy storm. Look how much that rolls up there. It's crazy. Crazy large storm. Do I do Philippines? I do not. No, we only do the United States and occasionally Canada. There's one gnarly shelf cloud. We're currently 886 subscribers away from 300,000. Wow. You know what else is wow? We might have a tropical storm or even a hurricane forming soon. Got a large red area, which is a high probability of tropical development in the southern Atlantic. That'll be going towards the Lesser Antilles. This could actually go towards the United States, but who knows where. And also what happens, because this could also weaken in the Caribbean Sea. It could rapidly intensify. There's a couple scenarios that are in play here in the Caribbean, but this does look like something that could be big if it does develop. So, again, not guaranteed that it'll be big, and it's also not a guarantee it'll actually impact, you know, the United States. But it is going to be something to watch for, because it is actually a pretty unseasonable environment that it'll be going into over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to unsub to you so I can sub again. It's not going to make a difference. I've seen the number like drop and go up a couple times. It does not make a difference. Just letting you know.
There it is.
Drunk tropical storm. Almost every tropical storm is drunk in nature because they all turn. They all go weird ways. Some do at least. Thank you, Matthew, for the $5 super chat. Tornado Alley in Wisconsin confirmed. I would have to say so. I think that's included.
Skeeter's already getting in
That
here.
has to be included, right?
Skeeter's already got
Wisconsin,
a mosquito in
Illinois,
here.
maybe?
Saw it.
Maybe Minnesota.
They got outside the
Maybe
car.
even Iowa. Maybe just the Midwest. Let's just rename the Midwest to Cheese Curd Alley. I don't know what Connor just said. Will I drink a hurricane on stream? No. I don't even know what that drink is. I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is. Okay.
A new tornado warning
Wow.
has been issued.
We have a new tornado warning, and that's pretty strong rotation, just south of Belfield. This area was just under a tornado warning not too long ago. So if you're in this warning, seek shelter away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. We don't have a great view of this, as I mentioned before, on radar, because it is just so far away, but definitely a little tightening there on this storm, just to the south of Belfield. Kind of the same thing here, too. A couple storms that are rotating. It's a embedded storm in this line, just to the south of Interstate 94. Yeah, if you're in the pink polygon, get to your safe place away from windows and on the lowest floor possible and interior room of your home or building. Trying to see what the warning locations may include. I'm pretty sure this is just going to be south of Belfield, and that's it. This is the latest scan. The latest scan weakens that rotation by a little bit. Doesn't look like the National Weather Service tornado page is working. Oh, maybe it is. I think it just posted. 375 people in this warning. So just south of Belfield, North Dakota, southwest of South Hart. It's where this tornado warning currently is located. So seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible. Connor's not far from this, so I don't know if he's going to go after this, but he's not far from it, so we'll see. I think Storm Intermedia is not far either, but I'm not sure if they're going away from it or not. May you roll for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. Rotation south of Bowman. I don't know where Bowman is. There's a couple of little kinks in this line. So, really, legitimately, any of these could produce an isolated tornado. Unfortunately, the reflectivity radar is not very good here. At least the terminal radar site there. Honestly, there's real... I mean, as I mentioned before, this radar site, it's unfortunate. We're in a radar hole, so... It's pretty unfortunate stuff here. But with that said, I do see the rotation. It looks rain wrapped to me. It's definitely gonna be something where if there is a tornado on the ground, it's gonna be very difficult to see. But again, it's just very hard to tell if this is actually on the ground or not. Like, we have a CC drop here, but it's 14,000 feet or so up into the atmosphere. So we're not gonna see it on radar. We'll go to Connor and look.
Wow.
I think he might be going in that direction right now. I mean, if this tornado is on the ground, it's fast moving, and it's also like
Very grungy.
completely rain wrapped. So not a very good situation if you are a
Grungy squall
person
here.
that's driving on the roadways here.
It'll be somewhat difficult to see. Does look like there's a little bit of a lull in the lower level clouds out ahead of us, so it could just morph into a beast of a squall. Structurally wise.
Hey, Hilltop,
well.
become a member, and welcome to the Velocities. Latest scan is showing broader circulation. It wasn't as strong. It's not as tight as the last scan, or like the beginning of this tornado warning scan. Bottom right of your screen will be the radar. We'll keep it there until, if anything intensifies, we'll go back to it.
Get on the interstate.
No problem, Hilltop. A update on Whitman. We had one confirmed injury, and we also had the tornado was an EF3. So again, 160 mile per hour winds. It was a high-end EF3 tornado that was on the ground for about an hour.
Look at that. Yeah, I mean, if this can get out
Guys,
of
no
clean
politics.
air, it'll have some
I know it's the
structure,
night, but no
no
politics.
doubt,
We're not going into
undoubtedly.
politics here. This is not a political
Gotta
stream.
get a little bit out ahead of it, I think, again.
It's like the #1 rule. Is there a tornado? Well, there's a tornado warning. Connor's looking at... Connor's going towards this storm. So we'll see if we see anything. Again, on radar, there's some broad circulation near Gaylord and just south of Belfield.
Back camera next time I stop. So usable.
In North Dakota. Again, this in western North Dakota. Connor is not far from it, so we'll see. He's driving towards it, so.
How fast to say this thing's moving?
It's not as tight, though, as it wasn't as strong and tight as like a few scans ago, but.
Cooking. We're not gonna have much time to waste.
Or actually, he might be moving away from it. Never mind.
It is cooking.
I think he's getting out in front of the storm activity.
It'll be hard to get ahead of it.
No, I don't think it was you, Michael. I think there was other people.
It's gonna be almost impossible to get back out ahead of it, is what I mean. So the goal is to not fall behind it.
They were super lucky for an unwarned tornado. Yeah, I mean, it could have been way worse. That tornado could have gone right through the middle of town. And it could have been way worse. Like, low-key. It could have been really bad. But, you know, luckily the tornado, I think, missed the town just by, like, a hair. I think it hit town, but I think it was, like, only a couple buildings on, like, the east side. Because that tornado was large enough where it could have literally destroyed, like, half the town. Where is that? Whitman. Where's Whitman up here? I don't know where Whitman is on the map here. Isn't it like Leet, Irwin, Gordon, Rushville, Clinton? I can't find it. Whitman. Is that right? Oh, it's actually, oh, it's next to Hyannis. And like, if you look at the town, this is the town right here, right? And the tornado, I'm pretty sure, went through, like, this part of town. I don't know the exact track. They haven't really released it yet, but this is the town. It's not even a mile wide. So this tornado that happened, I don't know how wide the tornado was, but if it went right through the middle, it would have possibly, like, hit the entire town and damaged a lot of buildings. Because this is a mile for reference, right? This is how big the town is. It's like a half a mile wide. Right and left, and the tornado was going north to south. So, you know, unfortunately, it could have been much worse. Like, luckily it wasn't, but it very well could have been much worse than what it was. But I'm not sure. I'm going to check and see if we have an official track on it, but I'm not sure if we do. I'll check real quick. No, we don't yet. Do not have an official track, at least on the damage assessment toolkit, quite yet. It's the gritty goal. We already hit it. So, and if you're just tuning in, tornado warning south of Belfield in North Dakota. Rotation again embedded in this storm. That is the circulation that we're looking at, is right there. My pen decides to glitch out, don't know why, but that's the rotation. And it is currently moving in the direction of Connor Croft. I'm pretty sure Connor Croft is just moving east. Probably just trying to get out in front of these storms. These storms are moving east at about 50 miles per hour, so these are going to be very fast-moving storms. They're not slow whatsoever. And so, if you're anywhere in North Dakota tonight, be ready for this line of storms. Damaging winds, the main concern across a large chunk of the state tonight. And in addition to that, South Dakota will also have that potential for some damaging winds, especially on the northern side of the state. A couple of embedded tornadoes in this line are possible. The discrete supercell activity, though, is merging now with that linear line of storms. So overall, the tornado risk, it's not zero, but it is going to be going much lower than what we've initially had. The next Storm Prediction Center outlook is in approximately 30 minutes. So we might still be live for that. I think we will. So we will obviously keep a close eye on that. And we'll see what the update is there on the outlook for tonight and give you an idea of what the tornado risk is, at least from their thinking, and also what the wind and hail threat will be for the rest of tonight. So those are all things that will be threats tonight. Let's go back to Connor here for a second until our next scan.
barely see it now. It's so low to the ground.
If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. You're currently about 800 subscribers from 300,000. If you are new to the channel and you've yet to hit the subscribe button, make sure to do so. Never a better time to do it than now. All right. And subscriber count, again, bottom left of your screen. This rotation has really broadened out a lot. I don't think this warning is going to continue. Got 13 minutes left on it. I think we're in a transitional period where we might end up seeing these storms mostly just damaging wind producers, but we could eventually start to see a bit more of a tornado risk get going. But right now it looks to be more of a linear wind concern. But we could get a couple embedded tornadoes if this does organize after all these discrete cells merge.
Storm mergers and low-level clouds probably aren't helping with our structure.
Hey, Graham for the $5 Venmo. Appreciate the generosity. Yeehaw. Yeehaw Junction.
Dang, Dickinson seems like a nice little area.
Just gonna check out the bottom right and see if there's anything else that looks concerning. We don't have any other tornado warnings. That's the only one. I'm just curious. 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds in southwest Kansas. It's a little bit of rotation southeast of Lake Charles in Louisiana.
I think it's on my butt still.
We're probably gonna have a PDS sunset somewhere over there in
It's on my butt.
Tennessee. I'm trying to look. I'm here for the 300K. It's possible. It is possible. Pretty nice sunsets in the southeast right now. Let's go back to Dickinson again. Tornado warning again goes for 10 more minutes. I'm guessing they're probably going to cancel it, or they'll just let it expire, because the rotation's much weaker than before. I'm seeing a lot more of a wind concern right now, moving west to east. All these bright blues, again, would be representing the potential for damaging winds exceeding 60 miles per hour. Some of these pockets could have winds that are as high as 70 and maybe even up to 80 miles per hour. This entire line right now is warned for damaging winds up to 70. So, again, if you're in North Dakota tonight or northern South Dakota, be ready for the threat for some significant damaging winds across this line. It will continue to be a risk here for the next several hours. Again, this threat will probably go all the way until 10 or 11 tonight, maybe even a bit later. How's it going, Craig? Welcome back. So nice out today. Some areas were really nice. Tennessee looked pretty nice. I was just looking at Tennessee live cams. Looks pretty nice out there. We're officially less than 800 subscribers from 300K. Hey, Mayor, for the $5 super chat. We love Connor. We do love Connor. Connor golf. Me and Connor golfing in a match sometime in July or August, probably. For members only. It'll be a live stream, more than likely. Can't guarantee it yet, but appears likely. Anything for Iowa tonight? There will probably be some rain, unfortunately, so the flooding threat is still continuing to be at least a possibility. Let me go to the hydraulical outlook for tonight. There is a marginal threat and a small slight risk in southwestern Iowa. So, might be some rain tonight. I don't think it's going to be substantial, but it'll be enough to make it so that this flooding risk is not really going to be dying down anytime soon. We have a few more storms coming over the next week or so that are just going to continue to pummel rain in that area. So, it's unfortunate, but, you know, we're in the active time of the year, and a lot of this stuff is going to be happening over the next few months. We're just going to continue to see a lot of rain, and also probably a lot of severe weather, especially in Iowa. But maybe not the next several months, but at least the next couple of months. The South Dakota severe thunderstorm warning just upgraded. 80 mile per hour. Damaging winds now. Possibility with this east of Buffalo. Near Lodgepool and Struhl. So again, destructive damaging winds up to 80 miles per hour will be possible. Ping pong ball sized hail. And there is a tornado possible label on this. And the rotation on this is very hard to see. We don't really have any definitive view of anything here, but with this type of setup, I would not rule out an isolated tornado. Maybe somewhere down in here. Here. Dude, what is going on with these circles? Like, I'm drawing with this pen and it keeps like doing weird boxes. This area right here, maybe an isolated tornado, but the risk right now across this entire line, predominantly wind upwards of 80 miles per hour in northern South Dakota. This tornado warning still goes for 7 more minutes. If we have anything, it'd be right along Interstate 94. Thank you, Drippy, for becoming a Maximum Velocity member. Also, thank you to Dave for the 5 gifted memberships. If you got a gifted member, make sure to thank Dave. I appreciate the generosity. Back to Connor for the time being. Nice little roll cloud right there.
Probably stop in Richardson up here. At that point, the squall should be a little bit more organized, and we'll see if we can get some better structure.
Or the ping pong balls. Got it right here. This is a ping pong ball. Not sponsored, by the way, but that's the brand. Nice little ping pong ball. That's what's falling out of the sky right now.
We are almost at 74,000 subscribers.
Hey, you dog,
guys.
for
If you're
gifting
not
member.
subscribed to the channel,
Appreciate it.
we're less than 100 away from that milestone.
This is our most active year that we've ever covered. Yeah, there's no doubt. This year's been extremely active. We've been live so many times this year. I mean, I don't even know how many hours we've been live, but it's probably triple of last year's live stream hours. And last year, for reference, we were live like several times. But like a lot of it was more than anything during hurricane season. We had some severe weather live streams, but it was not super active last year. This year we've been live like almost every day. Now, today's event, like, I was kind of on the fence about going live for, because really it's gonna be mostly just wind. We don't usually go live for wind events unless we're talking about like even like a derecho, or if it's some sort of like really high densely populated area, because like up in this enhanced risk, it's really rural. If you go to the outlook for today, like you'll see these numbers. It's there's people, there's no doubt, but I mean a lot of the locations that were going to be impacted by this are like later today, like later, like as in like a couple hours from now, like Bismarck, for example, or Rapid City, which Rapid City didn't really even see anything, but Bismarck is really going to be the main place to get impacted today by severe storms. But we hardly ever cover this part of the country. We don't usually cover North or South Dakota unless there's something big happening. Hey, dog, for gifting another member. But this year has been insane, there's no doubt. You know what else is insane? We were about 750 subscribers from 300k. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. This tornado warning will probably go for another 3 minutes or 4 minutes, and then it'll be canceled, or just let to expire, one of the two. But the rotation is moving out of that area. How's it going, Luke? Watching for a month now, seems like you go live every day. Yeah, we've never done that before. Like this year is the 1 year that we've been live a lot, like almost every day. Three-minute long non-stop gritty at 300k. I don't know if we're hitting it today. Again, it's gonna take a monstrous effort to hit that today. I highly doubt we're gonna hit it, because I mean we got about maybe 20 minutes to hit that, unless something else significant happens. Ryan Scholl is in a storm. He's always in a storm. He's always in something. Hey, Chad, for the $4.99. I would give it a 0.000001 chance of happening. Thank you, Brent, for the one gifted. Thank you, Maynard, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. I'm getting hungry. I want some Culvers. How much longer will the stream be? I don't really know yet. I mean, we're kind of just watching storms, see if anything happens, but if it just looks like mostly wind, maybe like 20 more minutes. Maybe a bit longer. We'll see. Just depends on what we're looking at here. It's just a large line right now, and that tornado warning will be done here in a second. It's either that, or we just wait to hit 300,000 subscribers. I don't know. One of the two. Either that, or we hit 300K. But that number's got to jump up over the next several minutes for that to be possible. Because we are so far away from it still. When's the next members only stream? There's none planned because we don't know when the weather's going to quiet down. It looks like it's going to be active for the next week or two. How's it going, Noah? Welcome back. Southeast Nebraska tomorrow. Conditional threat for discrete cells, but probably more of a wind threat later in the day. Alright, this tornado warning is going to be done in a few seconds. And then after that, we're back on to just a large-scale damaging wind threat for the time being. Even then, this tornado warning is already done, basically, because the rotation's already out of the warning. And it's already weakened in North Dakota. What I think about Saturday? I think there'll be probably at least a couple tornadoes in the Ohio Valley. I just don't think the risk is going to be that high. It should be a relatively low risk in nature. Forecast for the 4th of July. You know, I'm hoping it's nice because I don't want to be live. I'm going away for a couple days for the 4th of July, July 3rd and 4th. So I'm hoping that the weather's actually nice. And this tornado warning is now done. So let me take this off. All right, but this is what we're looking at for the next several days. We'll just do a quick little future radar for the next couple weeks here. So this is what we're looking at for the next several days. Again, another round of severe weather possible Friday in parts of the western Midwest and then back into parts of Kansas. By Saturday, we'll probably be looking at some severe weather in the Northeast, including the Ohio Valley. I don't think it's going to be that substantial, but it'll be something to watch for. Monday into Tuesday, probably another round of severe weather in the Northern Plains and eventually the Midwest by Tuesday. So we could be live for this for Tuesday too. By Wednesday, I do think we'll have a chance for some isolated severe storms across a large area. I am not going to be live if anything happens probably on Wednesday, and honestly, Thursday would be the same way. Thursday might be a bit more robust in like the central and northern plains, but again, I will probably be on vacation those 2 days. And then after that, it's kind of questionable. And it's already questionable to begin with, but that's what we're looking at long term. I don't think we're hitting it, but I'm gonna put it up there. Unless we get another warning. That's tornadic. Is this a derecho? Honestly, like, I don't think it's going to continue like this for, like, multiple more hours. I think this will go for probably 3 or 4 more hours, but it's possible that this gets classified as a derecho after the fact. We might. It might. Or we might. It might. It's very possible. Ever do an all-nighter? No. I mean, we've done like a 16-hour stream before, but that wasn't an all-nighter. The next Storm Prediction Center outlook is in 15 minutes. I think we'll be live for that, at the bare minimum. So we'll be live for that. Reed has a bowl lowering shape. It's not really a bowl lowering. There's a lowering, but it's not a bowl. I'm guessing it's on this storm near Dickinson. I don't really see anything on radar, but it would probably be near Dickinson. Maybe some broad rotation there. You should wait for until we hit 300k. Because I'm bored and I'm at home and I have nothing to do. I don't know what to tell you, man. We'll play some games. Thank you, Grim, for the $9.99. I think southeastern Kentucky will get severe weather Saturday, Sunday night. I don't think Sunday, but maybe Saturday. And even then, I would say the risk is pretty low right now for either day. Yeah, Gulf Hurricane is possible next week, but again, ignore the hype on social media, because social media will be telling you lots of things that are probably not true about that. It is very possible that we see something that impacts the United States, but it is a highly unlikely chance right now that we actually exactly know what's going to happen a week from now in the tropics, because we really don't. Members only stream until 300k. We're not going to hit 300k if we do that. It would take like at least a week for that to happen. But we are currently 735 subscribers away from 300k. So again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I don't think we're hitting it, but it's possible today. If not, we'll probably hit it tomorrow if we do go live. I'm just hoping that, you know, tomorrow, we're gonna have a video tomorrow morning. Sometimes we do gain a lot of subscribers from those videos. Not all the time, but sometimes. Let me check how many we gained on today's video. I mean, today we gained like 500 subscribers on the video, so hopefully we don't gain any more than that on the video, because I'd rather have it happen live than it happen on a, you know, a video. Not doing a shirtless gritty for 300k. What? It's not happening. I will gift 50 members to the channel if we somehow miraculously, I can't say that word, hit 300k tonight. Yeah, we have to hit this live. We can't hit it when we're not live. So you just said wait for 300k. I'm bored at work. You're watching me while you're at work? Wow. Curious to see if we have any live cameras in this area. I haven't really been looking at those. Eh, not really. There's a couple live cams in northwest South Dakota. It's actually a, it's a live shot inside the 80+ mph destructive windstorm. Can't even see anything. This looks windy to me. You can't, it's just a static photo, but this is a few minutes ago. Is this observed? That's radar indicated. Radar indicated wind. Thank you, Peyton, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. Oh, we're at 700 subscribers from 300k, getting closer. I clicked on and off it 1,000 times and it doesn't change anything. Well, yeah, it really does not change anything. I can tell you that. Any sunsets or double rainbows? We can look around in Tennessee for sunsets. I mean, there are sunsets in Tennessee. That's one view. It's pretty nice in Tennessee tonight. There aren't really any storms in the area. Wow, look at that. That's a nice sunset right there.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Oh, we have another tornado warning. It's on the storm near Dickinson, near Gladstone. And we don't have a great radar view of this, but there have been reports of at least a lowering on this. So if you are in the pink polygon, again, get to your safe place. Away from windows, lowest floor possible, interior room of your home or building. Apparently Connor is actually, or I think he's just outside of the tornado warning. This one's going to include more people, though. It's right along the interstate. Let's see what the population is on this one. And Dickinson and Gladstone, the two locations in this tornado warning. That was a beautiful sunset, no doubt. Alright, again, this tornado warning does include Gladstone, Dickinson, and New Hedrick, North Dakota. So a few actual towns in this. If you're in the warning, again, get to your safe place away from windows, lowest floor possible. Got a couple areas of rotation. We got one here near Dickinson, which again doesn't look like much, but we are just looking so high up into the clouds here. And we got the other one that's going to be back over here north of South Hart. So a couple different areas to watch for the potential for a tornado. So again, if you're in this warning, get to your safe place. This actually includes a population of 30,000. So that's like 100 times more than the other places that we've been talking about in this particular area of North Dakota. Actually, this is a shot out of this area a second ago. Potentially a lowering over here somewhere. This is a moment ago. It's 5 minutes ago in this tornado warning cell in Dickinson. See if we have any other live shots here. Oh, this is inside the storm a moment ago. Raining. Right on Dickinson. And Connor, by the way, I think he's going to wait out there near Richardson and try to intercept this. Actually, a pretty good view of the storm rolling in. This is just to the north. Can you full screen, bro? What in the world? Will my Alright, there we go. This is what we're looking at here as well. This is a moment ago. So again, large rain shaft. I can't see a clear lowering on this live shot, but that is the leading edge of this particular area of storms. It is tornado warning in North Dakota. And this is moving west to east. Could get a tornado with this at any time. Right along Interstate 94. Actually, the one near Highway 22 looks stronger to me. I wouldn't be surprised if this one does drop a tornado as it moves east. Despite the appearance on radar here, it is definitely stronger than the other one down to the south. But this one's right along the interstate. This one up here near Highway 22, though, does look a little bit stronger to me. See if we have any other live shots up there to the north. Well, this is a shot of probably the northern rotation. I'm not seeing much, but maybe like again in here somewhere. This is a moment ago on the northern circulation on that tornado warning. It's on May. That's looking north, so that would have been up here where that's basically right where the rotation was. There's a couple spots there that there are cameras. And this is looking west. This is from the other air. This is from back over to the east. This is looking west towards the storm. Just a large shelf cloud out in the distance. I don't know what's going on this hill right here, but this is as of not too long ago in that area as well. Hey, Sonar for the $5 super chat. Yeah, I know. I was looking at them. That's what I'm looking at right now. I mean, there's not really much. I don't think they're live. I think they're just static pictures, which is unfortunate. If they were live, we'd probably have some pretty good shots of some stuff. But I think all of them are static images that only update every like 10 to 15 minutes. Stormwater Media is actually inside the tornado warning. Let's go to him. They're inside the tornado warning right now. While they're inside the warning, I'll be back in 60 seconds. And Stormer Media, they are inside this tornado warning.
Network error.
Of course.
Not really seeing anything yet.
Of course.
There is a possibility, though, that we have a tornado on Highway 22 just north of Dickinson. Can't confirm it via radar, but that's the strongest area of rotation that we currently have. Have issued a new severe thunderstorm warning, more destructive damaging winds. That's near the Moat area, Elgin, Carson, Glen Ullin, just south of Interstate 94. So that's another significant wind warning here in North Dakota. Again, it's not really surprising. I mean, this threat here for damaging winds that is upwards of 70 to even 80 miles per hour, this is going to continue to be a threat here. There's no doubt about that across North Dakota and even parts of South Dakota. So, obviously, if you are in this area, make sure that you're staying, weather where have everything protected, like, loose line items, trampolines. Make sure they don't go flying. Today is tossing trampolines on Tall Trees Thursday. But so far, I mean, this warning here, it's warned for 80 mile per hour damaging winds. Every report that we've had thus far, the highest one was 66 miles per hour. And there's a lot of different measuring stations in here. A lot of them have been between 50 and 60 miles per hour, but there was one that was up to 66. So far the wind has not been as significant as advertised, but it's still possible that we could get an isolated spot in here that produces that potential for that significant of wind. This tornado warning, by the way, was updated, and also there was a 90 mile per hour wind gust out of Dickinson, North Dakota. So that's actually a confirmed one. That's observed 90 mile per hour winds just south of Dickinson. Sheesh. It is windy out there. Obviously, make sure that you are staying away from windows as these storms do approach here in North Dakota. And Storm Warning Media, they are inside this tornado warning. Hey, Vincent for the $4.99. Have a good night. Appreciate you tuning in. I mean, again, this could actually be a derecho. It's very possible.
Thank you, Diane, for popping in.
Should have another Storm Prediction Center update here pretty soon.
And the part that we're in is 7 is one for 70. But just the little part south of Dickinson is one for
80. The new SPC outlook should be out at any time. We're just waiting for that. See what the rest of the night looks like. With the threat level.
Blowing out. It's just directly to our south, yeah.
I guess if you call it
Yeah.
Who do you consider the Ohio Valley? Indiana, Ohio, Western Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Tennessee. Those are the states that I consider Tornado Alley. Nothing tonight for Topeka, or just isolated winds, if anything, there in Kansas.
80-mile wind tag down here, but that's no boat.
And it is very possible that we have a derecho tonight. I mean, it's not a guarantee by any means, but with how widespread the winds have already been for the last several hours, we could legitimately have a derecho. It began all the way back here and organized into an actual line recently, but it's very possible. Especially with how destructive the winds have already been. And this is both in North and South Dakota, so I wouldn't rule it out. The Brent for the $4.99 or $5 super chat. What is a derecho? It's basically a long tract area of damaging winds within a line of storms. So it goes west to east, just like not all derechos do that, but like this particular situation, we've had a line of storms go west to east. And so if this is ongoing for 250 plus miles over that span, and there's at least a 60-mile diameter of that wind happening, then it would be classified as a derecho as long as there's some sort of widespread damaging wind threat happening, and there's also widespread damage that's been reported. I haven't had a whole lot of damage reports, but granted, it's very rural parts of Montana, North and South Dakota that are being hit by this. So It's not like an area here that has tons and tons of people everywhere. Like, this isn't like the Midwest, for example. But with that said, there's probably gonna be damage in a pretty numerous to widespread area, is my question. Or is my guess, I mean, not question. It's the outlook for minute tonight. Main concern again being damaging winds. I wouldn't really expect a tornado risk up there. If there is one, it's gonna be very low. See if the latest SPC outlook is out yet. Apparently there's a storm chaser right in the middle of this rotation and they cannot see anything. So, just letting you know. If there was a tornado, it would probably be on the northeast side of Dickinson. Yeah, damage to crops, excuse me, is gonna be one of the biggest things. No SBC outlook quite yet. Let me see if it's updated on here. Nope, no update yet. Still waiting on the update. It might take a few minutes because this one's going to be like a full-blown condensed area for this risk tonight. We're almost at 300,000 subscribers. I don't think we're hitting it tonight. I just don't think it's going to happen. Maybe tomorrow, though. Thank you, Humbled, for the $5 super chat. Are you talking about North Dakota? Highest recorded wind speed ever. I don't really know. I mean, it's probably over 180. At least. I don't know the history behind that, though. Probably pretty high, though. I mean, we just had a 90-mile-per-hour wind gust here in Dickinson, North Dakota out of this line, but that's definitely not the highest ever. Maybe the highest locally, but that's been recorded. Mount Washington? It's actually pretty it's probably Mount Washington, honestly. Do have a little signature in here, by the way. This is where the tornado would be. It'd be kind of in this little hook on the backside of the storm. So that's where we would be looking for the potential for a tornado. Wow, there's a 90-mile-per-hour wind warning now here in North Dakota. That is crazy. Wow. Connor's in this warning too, by the way. So Connor's in this destructive 90-mile-per-hour wind warning, and he's going to be probably, I think he's just going to wait it out and get hit by this. So he's bottom right of your screen. We're going to have a view with them. I think we're going to be live at least through that part of this, because this is now pretty destructive. 90-mile-per-hour winds. Which, by the way, this is an observed threat. This isn't like a normal warning. This is observed 90-mile-per-hour winds in Mercer, Stark, Dunn, and Morton counties in North Dakota. So we got Stormer Media, they're just racing away from it right now, and then we also have Connor Croft, which is just, I think, gonna wait for this. So it might get pretty interesting here in a second, we'll see. But 90-mile-per-hour winds heading right in the direction of Richardson, Hebron, Golden Valley, Zap, Dodge, and West Abula. Here in western North Dakota. That is a PDS severe thunderstorm warning. This was recorded, by the way, at about 20 minutes ago at the Dickinson Airport. This is a life-threatening situation. It is an extremely dangerous situation right now in North Dakota. And this is almost going full-blown derecho mode right now. This entire line right now, this is about, let's see. This is about 160 miles long right now, with warnings above 70-mile-per-hour winds. And even then, this one was above 80. So about 160 miles in length right now, with damaging winds that are exceeding or around 80 miles per hour. That is absurd. That is absurd. It's a significant situation right now in North Dakota. This is Connor right now. This is the leading edge right now of that wind threat, upwards of 80, maybe even 90 miles per hour. Maybe he is going to race away from it. I was kind of wondering to see what would happen if he did stay in that area. But this could actually be a derecho after everything's said and done. It's very possible. Very, very, very possible. Yeah, there was an 89-mile-per-hour wind gust south of Dickinson at the airport. And that's the leading edge here of this wind threat in Dickinson. Or just east of Dickinson near Richardson.
There it is.
Looks like Connor's going to drive away from this. It would have been interesting if he just stayed in it. Curious to see what it would actually look like. My sub count, it's bottom left of your screen. No SPC outlook quite yet, by the way. We were waiting for that. No outlook quite yet. But again, if you're just tuning in, we do have a 90-mile-per-hour wind warning for those near Beulah, Hebron, and Richardson in North Dakota. And 80 miles per hour anywhere from Interstate 94 and southbound all the way into parts of South Dakota. This is potentially going to be turning into a derecho, or it already is a derecho right now. Moving eastbound. So this is a significant wind event that is moving west to east. And as it continues to move east, it'll probably continue to produce numerous to widespread damaging winds for the next, more than likely, several hours. I kind of thought it might like kind of weaken out here over the next few hours, but at least for now, this has remained very intense and obviously potentially even, you know, destructive for many areas. There's a lot of farmland up here. So a lot of farmers are going to be impacted by this. There could be a lot of damaged crops. Just not a good situation for those in North or South Dakota right now. Now, this is probably, I mean, if this might be a derecho. I've said it multiple times now, but it's very possible. Connor's looking at a beefy shelf, as he called it. Derechos only happen usually a couple times a year. So they're not common. Almost got a mesoscale convective vortex growing there on the back side where that tornado warning is. I haven't put you in timeout, Noah. I'm not a mod.
Just barely keeping up with it. Look at that thing. More for 90,
In North
guys.
Dakota, it's rare? Yeah, it's rare up here.
90. Welcome to the Bears cage, Connor. Appreciate you, brother. Great to have another Connor in the Bears cage.
The tornado warning does go for 3 more minutes. I'm guessing that one's going to be let to expire. So that tornado warning will probably be let to expire here in a moment. And this is your tornado warning right now. It's in the little backside hook that we have that developed, but the rotation does appear broad. But it does appear as if this almost tried to become a mesoscale convective vortex. Made a run at it. Still no SPC outlook yet. We're 12 minutes late as of right now. Invest 95L is up to 90% now. It is. I just saw that. Yeah, it's gonna become a tropical storm at the bare minimum. I mean, it could become a hurricane, but it's just a little bit too early to tell. It's likely it's gonna become a hurricane, though. I think it will be our first hurricane of the season. Where's tomorrow's risk? Central Plains back into the western Midwest. I'll pull it up real quick. This is tomorrow's risk. And the northern plains. Really, the main concern tomorrow will be in here for a conditional tornado risk. So, like, Kansas City area, surrounding areas. Anywhere up here to the north or east or west, it's mostly going to be wind and hail. So, pretty large area tomorrow. Kind of see the shelf cloud a bit more now from Connor's POV here. Up to baseball-sized hail. Yeah, baseball-sized hail is possible out of the western mode in the high plains. There's like Colorado and Kansas mainly for that.
CG somewhere.
Hey, Liam for becoming a member and welcome to the Velocities. This tornado warning does expire in about a minute, and we're done with that one for now. Hey, Maynard for the $10 super chat. Derecho hit us in Hot Springs, Arkansas last summer with tennis ball-sized hail. Trashed 3 cars with hail damage. Wow. That is not what you want to see. Does weather affect us in the Roman Empire?
Almost like struck me, but that was close.
Going on the other side of the world.
We had one yesterday, or not yesterday, the day before yesterday, Chad. It almost just like it was really.
I don't know if we're going
close.
live tomorrow. I mean, again, I've said that the last several days, but tomorrow is the day that I actually don't know if we will be live because it's conditional. But if we go live, it'll probably be around 5 or 6. Tomorrow will probably be around the same time as today if we do go live. What about SBC Outlook? I'm still waiting. It hasn't updated yet. We are so late on the SBC Outlook, unfortunately. Tornado warning has now officially ended. But we still have destructive 90-mile-per-hour winds right now that are ripping across North Dakota.
Definitely gaining ground on it now, so we'll gain ground a little bit on it, and then we'll stop and wait for it again. Just kind of repeat the process until we get a little bit closer to Bismarck, and then I might just let it run me over.
Okay. Has anyone died from a hail hit? I mean, I'm guessing. It's probably happened. I don't know if it has. Like, I don't know what the history is behind all that either. But, like, it's probably happened at some point. I mean, hail can be deadly. If you get hit by a big hailstone, like 4 inches in diameter, it's very dangerous. It can injure you at the bare minimum, but sometimes it can be deadly. That's why they always put in these warnings. I mean, this warning in particular, this is just wind. Well, I just say just wind, but it's 90 miles per hour. But, like, you know, if there was like baseball-sized hail falling, it usually says like this can be like deadly or it could injure somebody or whatever it might be. Like it usually has that type of wording on it. This is the latest mesoscale discussion. So North and South Dakota, the greatest chance for 85-mile-per-hour winds, or a little bit under that, will be across parts of very far southern North Dakota and northern South Dakota. Mobridge and Elgin, the main locations for that greatest concern. Elsewhere, the damaging wind threat is still going to exist. It's just, again, a much, longer and larger area with this mesoscale convective system, which, again, very well could be a derecho for all we know. There's actually tornado damage in Melbourne, Florida, by the way. Photo on our Twitter page at MaxVelocityWX, a few of them. If you want to check it out. Friendly reminder, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. We are currently 600 subscribers away from 300,000. Again, I don't think we're hitting it today, but it is possible if you subscribe. If 600 of you that are watching right now are not subscribed, you might be able to get us to that goal of 300K. So make sure to subscribe. Again, right now we are looking at widespread damaging winds upwards of 90 miles per hour in North Dakota. New Salem and Bismarck will be in the track of this eventually, and as well as Washburn. So the main locations in the path of this. Okay. Yeah, this warning's up to 90. I don't know if it's really that high anymore. Like, this happened back in Dickinson. It's possible that it's still that high, but... And Connor right now, he's not far from that wind. If he for some reason got in traffic, which I doubt you're getting in traffic in North Dakota, but if you for some reason did, he's like 2 miles in front of this right now. He's not far in front of it, but he's just keeping up enough. This is his live shot right now. The high winds are. Day one just dropped? Okay. Only about 18 minutes late.
Dickinson? No. The squall line's past Dickinson now.
No it didn't. Still late. We're 18 minutes late and nothing's dropped yet.
Alright guys, now we just got crazy spellings of Connor and... Oh boy.
How fast is this moving east? I believe about 60 miles per hour now. It's moving 55 miles per hour to the east.
There's that shelf cloud in the distance though. Look at that sucker.
Hey Liam for the $5 super chat, appreciate it.
You've never seen the incorrect spelling? I swear, 80% of Connors are spelled with an ER. And it's just not a real spelling. Yeah, it
Dozy
is trying
Drew,
to
get
become a
out of here.
land-based tropical storm. This bookend vortex is crazy, guys.
Thank you, Matthew, for the one gifted member. And also thank you, I missed one? Oh, I didn't, okay.
Connor. That is
Thank you, John, appreciate it. It does look clean, I know. Everything looks pretty good. It's not complete still. I still want to change some of our stream overlays, but it's getting there. It's getting to where I want it to be. Hey, by the way, AWADs for picking up a Drunk NATO t-shirt on shopmaxvelocity.net. I appreciate it.
I mean, there hasn't been an officially rated EF5 since I was
Thinking anybody else that picked up any merch.
10 years old.
We are actually shipping Connor Croft a Drunk NATO t-shirt, believe it or not. I don't think he doesn't know, but we are. Sending him a gift through his fan mail. Michelle, I don't know why our comment got deleted. I'm just gonna be honest, but it did for some reason. Stream Elements, which is just a bot, decided to do that. I'm buying a sweater next week. I'm pumped. We don't have sweaters unless you're talking about a different sweater. We have a hurricane right now. Look at that little twirl. We got like a little hurricane here in North Dakota. A little mesoscale convective vortex for you. Guess what? The SPC outlook is out. Yay! Let's check it out. Here's the SPC outlook for tonight. Still an enhanced risk, but it's condensed, obviously. North and South Dakota, the main areas in this. Main concern, still damaging winds. Let's check out the actual modes here. Tornado risk is still a 5%. Again, QLCS tornadoes now being the main concern. Isolated tornadoes somewhere in Kansas or Nebraska is possible, but it's a low chance, mainly across the western and central parts of those states. The wind and hail risk, probably going to be the same exact thing. They haven't updated on here. Let me check the actual website itself for that information. Give me a moment, please. Here it is. So this is the wind risk and the hail risk. Hail risk is no longer hatched, so the threat for very large hail, very low, and that typically goes for lines of storms. They don't usually produce huge hail. Wind threat, predominantly across North and South Dakota and parts of northern Nebraska. Tornado risk is low, but it's not zero. It'll be, again, maybe an isolated tornado or two that are embedded in the line of storms. So that's the latest update from the Storm Prediction Center. Back to Connor. Connor, I don't know if Connor's going to wait this out or not. Or if he's going to keep driving. If he starts driving again, then I don't know if we're going to see what's actually inside of there.
But
I like the pink background more. Well, this background is whenever we don't have any warning. Like tornado warning.
oh, let's go. The Connor got a membership. W. Page for giving Connor the membership. Couldn't have gone to a better person. Couldn't have gone to a better person,
Luke,
guys.
I've seen you say like hi at least 55
Page.
times in this live stream. I said hi the first time, and you just keep saying hi. Like, I don't know what else you want me to tell you. Hello? Hola?
Here she comes.
Bonjour. Like, do you want me to say hello in another language? Oh, goodness. Now, everybody's gonna say hi. Oh, great. Thank you. That's fantastic. All right. Phenomenal.
Yeah, nothing special, but it's just a solid shelf cloud here. Nothing too special, but it's just there. Paige, welcome to the Bears Cage.
Oh my goodness.
So Paige gifts members and becomes a member. W Paige.
Let's see if Luke said hi again in here somewhere. Let me see. I don't know if Luke said hi again. I think I scared him away. Thank you, John, for the 5 gifted members. I appreciate it. Got to gift a membership. Make sure to thank John in the chat. We are so close to 300,000 subscribers. I don't think we're hitting it tonight. I just don't think we're gonna hit it. Not tonight. Maybe tomorrow. If we go live tomorrow, we should be able to hit it.
Oh boy, getting dark.
I'm hungry. Need some food. Crockett, I saw that. I saw that tornado, the video and all that. It's on our Twitter page, at MaxVelocityWX. I saw it on radar too, and I honestly thought it might be a tornado, but I would have storm chased it, but who would have thought Florida for a tornado today? Kind of crazy.
Somehow has gotten worse.
Crazy times we live in. Florida, Louisiana, and North Dakota. The 3 states that saw a tornado today.
Think it could. Now it's just pure
Those are the
grunge.
3 states
Dark
that saw a
grunge.
tornado today.
Never seen darker grunge. I would intercept it, but I played this game before. They warn it for like 100
Is
mile
Connor
an hour
gonna
winds, and they'll be
run
like
away from it?
40.
Or he's gonna stay? I think he might be running away from it.
I played this game. Free! Free to choose. Thank you so much for choosing.
I wasn't
Become a
listening.
member
I was
of
looking at something else.
Bears Cage. Thanks so much.
Luke said he's back. Culver says hi. That's fantastic.
Yeah, we can barely see the
Burrito bowl from
cloud
Chipotle?
anymore.
I
It's
actually
so
should. I want to have
little
Chipotle at some point.
contrasted, so I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to stick with it since the structure is so
We're not hitting 300k tonight. Don't even worry about it. It's not happening. We're too far away. Said he's going to Bismarck? Okay. Alright. Well, if that's the case, I'm hungry, and I want to go get food. So we're going to go ahead and end the stream there. We were live a bit longer than actually expected. 2.5 hours, not too shabby. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We won't hit it today, but maybe tomorrow. We shouldn't hit it in tomorrow's video, so please do not subscribe between now and tomorrow night's stream if we do go live. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Click the bell icon down below so you're notified with the latest videos and live streams. Like the stream. If you become a member, appreciate you guys, and you can become a member by clicking the join button down below. Quick little gritty before we leave, because I almost forgot again. Try to do it in slow motion at the end. All right. Bats don't start for another like 5 minutes. They may have already started actually. But again, main concern in North and South Dakota will continue to be some numerous to widespread damaging winds. Right, that's the main concern. For a normal day we would cover it, but like I'm hungry and we've been live a lot recently, so yeah, the bats have taken off. Look at that. Quick little takeoff near Cocan in Texas. All right, well, that's it. Appreciate you guys tuning in. See you guys all again in the next video, which will be tomorrow morning, and then a live stream, which will be probably tomorrow night because we've been live every day. If not, we'll be live again on Saturday, probably. So if we're not live tomorrow, probably Saturday. Both days don't look super big, honestly, unless we get some sort of tornado risk tomorrow. So I wouldn't be too concerned, but we'll watch it closely. All right.